नमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। सर्ववेदांत सिद्धांत गोचरं तमगोचरम्
सर्ववेदांत सिद्धांत गोचरं तमगोचरम्
गोविंदं परमानंदं सद्गुरुं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्।
गोविंदं परमानंदं सद्गुरुं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्।
जंतूनां नरजन्म दुर्लभमतो जंतूनां नरजन्म दुर्लभमतः पुंस्त्वं ततो विप्रता तस्माद् वैदिक धर्म मार्ग परता विद्वत्त्वमस्मात् परम् आत्मानात्म विवेचनं स्वनुभवो ब्रह्मात्मना संस्थितिः मुक्तिर्नो शतकोटि जन्म सुकृतैः पुण्यैर्विना लभ्यते। शतकोटि जन्मसु कृतैः पुण्यैः विना मुक्ति ही न लभ्यते। हजारों करोड़ों जन्मों तक के किए हुए पुण्य बगैर मुक्ति प्राप्त नहीं होती है। क्यों? आगे 3 लाइन, लास्ट लाइन में क्या है? मुक्ति ही नह नो नो शतकोटि जन्मसु कृतैर पुण्यैर विना लभ्यते। शतकोटि जन्मसु कृतैः पुण्यैः विना मुक्ति ही नो लभ्यते। मुक्ति मिलती नहीं। अर्थात in other words, yeah, in English, even in thousands and crores of births punya to gain mukti. Without that, one cannot gain mukti. Why? The reasons of the logic is given in the first 3 lines. What is that? For couple of 2 reasons we saw. Jantunam nara janma durlabha. First of all, human birth is rare. And though it is not here in the shloka, I said to be born as a Hindu is another rare thing. Among whatever 8.5 billion, they have been telling 8 billion, but some people keep growing. So it must be 8.5 billion like by now. So among them, to be born as a Hindu, which is hardly 0.8 billion or 0.85 billion or so. So it is almost 10%. That's it. There is another probability to rare. Then he says, next one he says, why it is rare to be born as Hindu? Because these 2 purusharthas are missing in all other religion. Dharma purushartha and moksha purushartha. And so-called moksha is their salvation, is going to heaven. So we said basically it is only Kama Purusha. They all live for Indriya Sukham, Vishaya Sukham. And Vishaya Sukham is always impermanent. So they will come back from heaven. In our scriptures, it is mentioned very clearly, and it is simple law of science. Anything born at time T1 perishes at time T2. So even heaven itself is imperishable. Is not imperishable, it is perishable. Brahma bhuna lokaha punaravartino. Up to Brahma loka, all lokas are also perishable. So going to heaven, how can you expect that permanently you will live there? You can't be there in heaven for good. And even Indra, the king of heaven, is also on transit visa. He has to, once his tenure is over, he is born again. So nobody has citizenship or green card or work permit in heaven except Devatas. Devatas have work permit. Otherwise, heaven would be full of our Patels. One fellow, all Gujarati Patels will be there in heaven because they have a lot of strong family bond. They keep inviting brother-in-law and brothers and sister-in-law and all that, so it will be there. Anyway, lighter way of saying, but our heaven is ephemeral. It is not permanent. It is never permanent. And so, it is all those dharmas are talking about only and only Kama Purushartha, whereas we have Moksha Purushartha also. Then he says, what else is there? Dullabham tato pumstvam tato viprata. To be born as a human being is rare, and even in being born as a human being, to be born as a man is rare. Why it is said so? That it is rare to be born as a man? Because two reasons. One, from that context. Because women's life was very demanding in those days. The daily chore necessitated her to be engaged in bringing up the children and maintaining the house. Technology was not favorable to them. And secondly, the body is cut out to mother a child. So that itself is demanding. That Indrani Nui, who was chairperson of Pepsi Cola, she has written a very good article. In one interview, she said, very openly, she confessed, it is biologically not cut out to grow professionally and to mother the child. It requires a lot of support system. Of course, she developed, but still, she was saying it would have been better had she not had this body. Sort of. That kind of thing I understood anyway. So it is rare to be born as a man. Man means a little freedom, physical and psychological. Tato viprata. And it is rare to be born as a Brahmin. Now please understand. This is also another confusion. This Varna and Ashrama. Once I have said in Hindi class, these Varnas are nothing but the disposition, mental disposition, based on composition of gunas. And this composition of gunas is based on composition of karma. So person is not permanently Brahmana because you are not permanently human being anyway. This janma, it's some disposition. Brahmana means mindset, certain liking, certain love for certain things. So Brahmana is the one who has love for learning and love for teaching. That's why only Brahmanas were teachers, even in our traditional schools. Because the first qualification to be a teacher is not B.Ed, M.Ed or B.A. PTC, PTC. That you should love the knowledge. And I feel the first job of a teacher is not only to communicate the subject, unfold the subject, but to instill the love for learning, the subject that he or she is teaching. When the love is there, when teacher can instill a love in the heart of a student, the student himself or herself will learn. See, they will be all enthusiastic. All of you, in your childhood, when you returned home, there was one subject whose homework you did first. When most of them finish in the last period, free period, because you loved it. Suppose you love mathematics, you finish that. Suppose you love Hindi, you finish that. Suppose you love social science, you finish that. So when the love is there, the student is learning by himself. And so much so, I remember when you love mathematics, next day what teacher is to teach, you raise your hand. I know this. Because you've done the homework beforehand. You've gone little advanced and tried to figure out the facts by yourself. So the job of a teacher is to instill a love for learning. In fact, that's a job of a mother. Mother should make sure the child loves, and that you can instill a love of learning in somebody only when you lovingly teach. You should be lovingly teaching. Then only the love will be instilled in it. And you can teach lovingly only when you love. So that teacher should love learning. I remember I had a Gujarati teacher. My Gujarati remained weak. She taught in such a way, her face I still remember. Her face was, she will come in the class, her body language. She just didn't like to teach. Boring, face was boring. And first thing she will do in coming class, put the word, oh, last time which lesson we did? That mother tongue class you have every day. Last time in yesterday only you taught us. Then we said, Madam, we did 10th chapter. You open the 11th chapter. Then we have to say it is not 11th lesson. We have to say, Madam, it's not lesson, it's a poetry. Idiots. I just didn't learn. It never loved. So even now when I see people talking a lot of flowery Gujarati and Hindi, both language teachers were useless. So, and they use some shairis and couplets and poems, and I still feel, had I had a good teacher, I would have remembered all the poetries and things. They conveyed in a very beautiful way. What he requires a lot of messages and words and paragraphs. Anyway, so Brahmana is a one who loves knowledge. Adhyan, Adhyapanam. What kind of Adhyanam, Adhyapanam? Not Arthoparjanam Adhyanam. Not money making Adhyanam. Dharma Adhyanam. Dharma Adhyapanam. They used to teach wisdom of living. Therefore, the part of it was Yajanam Yajanam. Brahma Karma Swabhava. Yajanam, to perform yajnas and help others to perform yajnas. That is a natural love. Adhyanattapanam. There is a natural love for penance. There is a sense of satisfaction. Brahmana is a one whose sense satisfaction lies in knowledge. Kshatriya is a one whose sense of self-satisfaction lies in achieving and ruling. Vaishya is the one who has a love for business, whose satisfaction lies in money, not interested in knowledge. We can hire paid person. We don't care. We don't want. So they do not, real Vaishyas, even now, don't want to get into politics. They would say it is better we buy politicians to get our things done. And there are some people who don't want to do business. They want to rule. There is a love for ruling. There is a love for justice. There is a love for truth. And Shudra is the one there is no love except laziness and slothfulness. They don't want to learn, they don't want to rule, they don't want money, nothing. Just louses. Then I said the lazy, inertia. That kind of mindset is Varna. Now this disposition is caused by composition of these three gunas. Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. So Brahmana is a body which houses a mind which is predominantly sattvic. That's it. Kshatriya and Vaishya is a body which houses a mind which predominantly is Rajas. But the difference is Kshatriya's Rajas is backed by Sattva, Vaishya's Rajas is backed by Tamas. Second number. Shudra is just reverse to Brahmana. Brahmana is Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. That fellow is Tamas, Rajas and Sattva. That's it. So, this Sattvika, to be born with Sattvic disposition is a blessing. Tato pumstvam, tato viprata. Why? One advantage of those days, those society, in absence of technology and societal values, it was really, see, this word is bad. I don't use the word this. Brahmana is the best. Kshatriya is little less best, or it is better. Shudra is the worst. No. The right word is Brahmana is at advantage. Tennis, when it is deuce, you might have seen, when the points are equal, then best of the two. Continuous 2 points, who makes, he wins the game. So when this fellow wins 1 point, so other fellow needs 3 points, and this fellow needs only 1. That means he has won. Why that fellow needs 3? He has to break his services and get a point, and then get another point. So it is said the one who has, when it is deuce, and one who has 1 point, it is called advantage for winning. Brahmana is at advantage. Kshatriya is at less advantage, you can say. Why? Why you say advantage? Because goal of life was moksha. Today, Brahmana is at disadvantage because goal of life is money. Even Brahmana's children, nobody wants to be Brahmana. They don't want to do those karmas because paisa coming. They all want to IT, and there's all full of Dallas and Houston and Austin, these Tamilians and Telugus, and they are there. All Brahmanas, they still do Gayatri. They still do Upanayanam for the children in US. Advantage is, see, this Varna structure can work if the society as a complete society as a goal of moksha. If the society is Artha Pradhana, the Varnas are useless. Even Kshatriya, they opted to rule, control. They like power. So, in our Saurashtra, most of them were in police and army. They love to become policemen. Even if not studied anything, police ban jana. Then sub-inspector or something in lower level, police is the road. Now nobody wants to go. They all want to do business. Because kama, consumerist society. So Brahmana is advantage because two things, internally and externally. His job for Ajivika, for survival, was to do yajna yaga, puja, japa. So bhakti, earning punya, that was his job. And protected, like a teacher's job, is even now free from any competitiveness. There may be little more in modern days, but the cutthroat competition that you have in business, the planning and scheming and the aggressiveness, to survive, to grow. That is not there. There is no aggressiveness because they have to not to grow. In a sense, the salary is fixed, whether all students pass or less pass. But anyway, that's apart from it. But their relatively lifestyle which is free from psychological pressures and disturbances. An advantage is, this is something additional I am telling. This is a fact. The least heart attacks are to teachers across the world. Proven statistic. Maximum corporate honchos, they have heart attacks. Least is what? Teachers. And have you ever heard teacher getting heart attack? Never. And among them, from the higher side is higher secondary teacher. So they have 10th and 12th board and some pressure to get the students. Then further less is secondary. Primary teacher you will hardly find. Have you seen? Never. But those innocent guys, children, their innocence keeps them healthier physically. You will hardly find a primary teacher with blood pressure. Of course, because of modern medicine, they may have. But then modern primary government teacher give blood pressure to parents. The way they conduct about even private schools, some of them, this my barber was telling. His son is in some school, one of the good schools, so-called good schools. Fellow is charging 40,000 rupees per month, per annum. And they're not teaching anything. 40,000? I finished my whole graduation in 40,000, along with my pocket money. This was his charging. So that kind of, anyway, coming back to teaching job is like a parenting a child. Love, it's a love of labor. You just love that. So Brahmana is free from those kind of psychological disturbances. And if I put it in dharmic language, free from doing any papa. Unless he commits mistake in it. No papa. Kshatriya has to do all, once you are in politics, everything you have to do. There is some papam is always involved. In business, it is full of papam. Like typical our businessmen. I don't know now, but I'm telling you 40 years back, 40, 45 years back stories. These sari selling fellows, I used to go once or twice with my sister-in-laws. This ladies' garments or sari seller would tell, what is the price? 600 rupees. And the woman starts with less than 300. She will say, hey, this is worth only 250. What 600? This fellow will say, no. Every customer is his sister. Or something, Benji. This is not 250. It's really 600. Since your sister, I am giving it a cost price, 500. I am giving away my profit. No, I can't afford 500 rupees. My husband will shout at me. I can maximum give 300. Leave it. आप तो बहन है, ऐसे ले जाओ. सुबह से शाम वही कहता है सबको. तो बिजनेस करने बैठा है, खैरात करने बैठा है. So then finally they settle at 400. And then he will tell, since you are my sister, I am incurring loss of 100, but you take it. Be happy, my Benji, be happy. He tells to every woman. So what, has he opened a shop to make losses? He is lying. It's so vivid. Since morning, evening, he is lying. There is a papam. Telling untruth is papam. Honesty would have been to avoid papam, he should have said, I can't afford that. If you want, you buy. This is my price. But why should you say, this is my cost price and I'm giving you at a loss? There is a papam, lying. So the whole business is there. So it was said better because lifestyle never involved any papa those days. Secondly, Brahmana is advantageous because Sattva Pradhana. When your mind is sattvic, then there is a possibility of Viveka and Vairagya. You see, Gitaji mentions very clearly. Second chapter, Bhagavan says, Nitya Sattvastaha Niryoga Kshema Atma. Traigunya Vishaya Vedaha Nistraigunya Bhavajino Nirdvandvo Nitya Sattvastaha. When you are predominantly sattvic, means thinking, contemplative, tapas, shraddha, etc., then there is a possibility of being free from likes and dislikes. Nirdvandva. And when you are nirdvandva, relatively, there is a possibility of viveka, raising fundamental question. What am I doing? How am I doing? And when you are sattvika, you would love dharma also. So life would be good. So Brahmana is, I didn't say the best, he is an advantage. From what? Moksha point. In Hindu society, for millennia, lived in such a way that moksha was the goal. Artha and kama never were the goals of our married life. Even today, you go to a remote village, the woman or man is illiterate, don't know how to operate smartphones. They are 75, 80. Even in now, Saurashtra, I come across. It's a neo-rich town, city, Saurashtra, Rajkot especially. So this fellow is doing business and now suddenly has 2-3 cars, a lot of money. So they say, it's grandchildren, they say, hello, we are going to Dubai for vacation. I don't want to come. What will say she? Then they say, this is the time for me to go to Bhagavan, not Dubai. Doesn't know what is going to Bhagavan. But that's a moksha. I want moksha. That's a sattva. That is how our whole culture. Across India, you go to Tamil Nadu or Punjab or ask village guy. Old village person would never look for any artha or kama except moksha. Bhagavan ke paas jana. That's not true after there in Western culture. They may still look for some partner after 3 and 4 because that's all the life is. That's how the vision of life is. Way of life is according to vision of life. Their vision of life is kama. Our vision of life is moksha, dharma and moksha. Therefore, way of life is different. See? And this view of life is dharma and kama because vision of truth is you are the truth. That's how our dharma and culture is. So viprata is important. Brahmana would naturally love tapas. Tapas means self-inflict, pain. You invite pain for Ishvara. Therefore, there is a vakya. Brahmanasya tu dehoyam no upabhogaya kalpata. The body which houses a Brahmana mind, it is not meant for upabhoga. What is that? Iha tu kleshaya mahate. Lot of kleshas. They used to live. Simple life. Always lives according to Shastra. Following the Shastric discipline. Waking up early morning onwards, doing pujas, etc. Mahat pretya ananta sukhaya. Because of this punya fellow will get sukham here. after. So, Brahmana's body was meant for tapas and for knowledge. Therefore, he was at an advantage. Okay? Then he says, having become Brahmana, tasmad Vaidika dharma marga parata. This is all durlabha, which is rare. So rarity keeps on increasing. To be born as a human being is rare. Jantu nam, and then it is further rare to be born as a Hindu. And it is further rare to be born as a Brahmana. With modern Bharata, you have to add all these few things. To be born as a Hindu is a rare. But to be born as a Hindu in India is rare. Now, Western countries, they don't get exposed to our culture. They don't get certain things about culture. And even in India, you have to write, better in Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, etc. Not in Bihar and Kerala. To be born in Hindu is a disadvantage in Kerala today. Poor fellows are so much covered by Muslims and Christians, sandwich fellows. Anyway, this is further rare. Then, having become Brahmana, Vaidika Dharma Marga Parata. Paratva means commitment. On the path of Dharma, propounded by or revealed by Veda. Vaidika Dharma Marga Parata is further rare. What does it mean by Vaidika Dharma? That means to live a dharmic life, to follow all the Vedic injunctions in letter and in spirit. That is very rare. You may be a Brahmana, but then study the Shastra and follow all the Shastric injunctions. To explain this, I can give a simple example. There are Pujari Ganas you see, different temple, different Pujaris are there. One Brahmana. And the other fellow would be chanting very clearly, committed to do puja for Yajman, committed to do puja for Bhagavan. It's different. So, Dharma Nishtha is important. Lot of shlokas are there glorifying Dharma. He says, what is Dharma? Dharmo Vishwasya Jagatah Pratishtha. The whole world, whole creation is sustained by Dharma. Both ways. See, when is Bhagavad Avatar? Time. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavatiyah. Correct? Let us translate for the time being word dharma as an order, as a niyati. Other than human being, everybody lives according to niyati. What they are destined to. Or what they are designed to. Bhagavan has designed them to be like that, they are like that. Only human being has intervention possible. That means human being can spoil the order. Nowadays you see the plant's kingdom looks like confused. Certain fruits we don't expect in certain season they have started flowering. And certain flowers you don't expect in certain season they also started flowering. And certain flowers don't come at all. Whole thing is changing. That is what intervention by humanity. To disturb the order. So that vyavastha is sustained by dharma. Therefore, and since human being has a freedom to do, to not to do, and do otherwise, he is given dharma by Vedas. Therefore, shiksha is necessary. before you start living life, you should know what is dharma. Therefore, it is said, dharma vishwasya pratishtha. If the whole Vishwa abides in dharma. Therefore, there are definition, grammatical utpatti is dhriyate anena iti dharma. That by which the things are held together. This is a universe, not multiverse. Versatility is there, everything is different. But then they are united through an order. That is dharma. And that dharma is important. And Vaidika dharma. Why Vaidika dharma? Dharma is Atindriya. Two dharmas. One is Samanya dharma. That you can know what to do, what not to do. You require common sense. And certain laws of the land. These are all Samanya dharma. But Vishesha dharmas that are talked about in Vedas, as a husband, as a wife, as a brother, as a sister, as a son, or as a daughter, as a father or mother, all those Vishesha dharmas are something Atindriya. Atindriya dharmanam shastraika gammitva. You can know them only through Shastra. Therefore, it is said, Vaidika dharma marga parata. That means to live a life of Vaidika dharma. And why you live a life of dharma? What is the benefit of dharma? See why it is rare. Because dharma is a stepping stone for moksha. Only when you have lived a life of dharma, you develop objectivity, you develop maryada, you develop introvertedness, and you gain purity. Papa kshaya, primarily raga dvesha kshaya, happens through dharma. That means dharma gives you inner infrastructure, which turns you around to moksha, which makes you introvert, and thereby you start raising fundamental questions. Thereby you start withdrawing from unnecessary pursuits of artha kama, and thereby there is a desire for. So ultimately, dharma is a seed for moksha at a long time. After a long time. You see, look at this another thing. Bhagavan is on the side of Arjuna. Why? Bhagavan is on the side of Pandavas. Why? Because they lived a life of dharma. When there is dharma, then Bhagavan is there. This Bhagavan, another way, in a way, these Devatas and Danavas are same. I don't see any difference. Both of them are aspiring for heaven. Both are Kam Purusharth. Both want those heavenly apsaras and heavenly pleasures. What's the difference? Then why should Bhagavan always cite Devatas? Because they want it through Dharma Marga. And Asuras wanted Adharma. Our culture, Hindu, was so committed to Dharma. So Adharmi is never appreciated by society, accepted by society. Rama is our idol, is the most worshipful, is the ideal for Hindus because he is embodiment of Dharma. And there is a disrespect for Ravana because he is embodiment of Adharma. And Duryodhana, etc. I had told them, it's often, you see, nowadays there is a fashion to have new name for the children. They don't go for Jatakas, they don't go for Rashi, they don't go for his astrology. So the name should be connected to Jataka, Rashi, his future, etc. Like in Bhagavatam, Gargacharya tells, this fellow will be very powerful and very dear also to everybody. Everybody would love him, but he will be very strong. Call him Balaram. So he read this anger fellow will attract everybody. So Krishna, Akarshati iti Krishna. There should be some sense in the name, some meaning, reflecting the personality, some meaning reflecting some ideal, some adarsha for the child to aspire. Nowadays only Karna Priya. Hettal, Mittal, Sittal, Gittal, Tal, some all girls' names. And nowadays there is a fashion. Let's come to me. So we give a new name. What new name that nobody should have? Therefore, when you don't give good name, they will make some name. So I have to ask, what is this? This is Korean name. People is the advantage of Google. They have all kinds of names. They should be unique. Unique. One lady, the young girl, very daughterly too. I gave her name, some Devi's name. No, not this. I said, nobody has this name. Keep it. She kept on pursuing me. I got little irritated because of closeness. I said, I'll give you one name. Nobody will have it. Nobody had it. It's about Surpankha. Surpankha, laga le. Kisi ka nahi ho. Then she said, okay, I'll give short. Nowadays they want short. 2 letters, 3 letters. They put kai. In logo ke, these fellows lived such a life of adharma, their proper names went out of the market. Even a namesake nobody wants. You know, they look at the value for dharma our society has. You will find thousands of Rama, but not a single Ravana, not a single Kumbhakarna. Never. Though Guna may be Kumbhakarna Guna, you know, sleeping fellow all the time. But then never. These names, you will never find in one of the ration card, whatever, or Aadhaar card, that's better. 1.25 billion Aadhaar cards must be there. So you will never find Dharma. Bhagavan favors Dharmikas. So it's a rare Dharma because, and when there is a Bhagavan, Arjuna, Sanjaya says, when concluding Gita, Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, Yatra Partho Dhanurdhara, Tatra Shrihi Vijayaha Bhutihi Dhruva Nitir Matir. Definitely there will be Shri. What Shri? Devi Sampatti. All virtues, Sattvika. Grace will be there. So Dharma earns you Bhagavad Krupa. And when there is a Bhagavad Krupa, there is a moksha. It leads to moksha. So in our culture, though we say, Sharira Madhyam Khalu Dharma Sadhanam, this body is sadhana for Dharma, it is said. But then Dharma itself is not an end, is not sadhya. Moksha is sadhya. And that for that moksha sadhya, the first step or stepping stone is Dharma. Therefore, Tasmad Vaidika Dharma Marga Parata. Living a life committed to Dharma and Vedic. So, then there is no other way out. Okay? Very nice argument one Mahatma gave. He said, we keep saying that fundamental desire of every living being is what? Niratishayam sukham me bhuyat, anumatram api dukkham me ma bhut. It's the basic thing. Let me have limitless sukha and not an iota of dukha. Itna bhi dukh nahi chahiye. To gain that, there is no other means other than dharma. Had there been any other means for relative freedom from dukkha and relative happiness, people would have got it. They are employing all kinds of means. Only when you live a life of dharma, there is a relative sense of contentment, sense of self-satisfaction, sense of self-acceptance, no hurts and guilts. A person would have that satisfaction about himself or herself. That's dharma. Therefore, it is atindriya. Only dharma can be. In modern jargon, happiness index. Nowadays they have started. India always had the highest happiness because we sannyasis will make highest marginalized. Who are millions, first of all. They are anandas only. Secondly, the whole society lives a life of dharma. They think happiness is through what you possess and how you have. The sense of self-satisfaction, sense of self-contentment, sense of self-acceptance is happiness. And to the extent you accept yourself, to the extent you are satisfied with yourself, to that extent you love yourself. And to the extent you love yourself, to that extent you are happy. So, India had the highest happiness index because life was dharma. Prayojanam of dharma is ultimately to lead you satisfied, content. And you see, so many people who have lived a life of dharma, once they retire, they are happy, enjoying, relaxed. I have come across some Gandhians then I just say, don't worry for the family, now you do japa, do dharma, because they were very socialized people. Leave it now, the time to work for yourself. I still remember a couple of guys. They're saying, Swamiji, my books of accounts are ready. Let Yamaraja come and stamp it. I have never done anything wrong. I have lived a life of that. I have no attachment to any of my kids, grandchildren and great-grandchildren. I have very happy family. And there are some differences, they fight, let them fight. I don't care. I'm ready to go. The strength to face Yamaraja. It's a balam. Satya balam, dharma balam. That is antakara shuddhi. That to face Yama, the strength to face Yama will lead to the strength to win over Yama. Mrityur yasyopasechanam kaitha veda yatra saha. That comes in Kathopanishad. Yamaraja says, one who knows the self, I am chutney to him. Because he is beyond birth and death. So, dharma is important. There is no other means for dukkha nivritti, no other means for sukha prapti, no other means for self-acceptance, self-satisfaction, self-esteem, no other means for self-love. Today you see people, there is a self-loath, self-discontentment, self-guilty. There is self-image is so low that there is no self-confidence. You ask them, yeah, we'll see, yeah, okay, you all okay, you. Like typical Keralian. When you say, did you eat? They will make it round. You don't know whether it is yes or no. It is always like that. It is called yo-yo. Modern children, they're always, you ask them, "Ah, well, we'll see, we will see." We keep seeing them going. That's it. So that strength comes from that. And tasmad Vaidika Dharma Marga Parata Vidvatvam Asmad Param. Further rare thing he talks. We'll see it on next Saturday. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha. Hari Om.